Hey guys, Even the Odds here, bringing you my first Battlefield 3 commentary. This is some gameplay where I happen to get into a game with SpecOps Delta and Reddraggons and TyeWebb of internet fame, and yeah, we had a great time tearing shit up. Made it all the way to the last base and took it. Not to spoil things too much for you, but this is probably the best game I've had playing the beta, and I wanted to share it with y'all, along with a little bit about my background and some playing tips to help you guys beast in rush mode in this style of map. So here goes. So I would imagine you guys can figure out I'm playing an aggressive recon style pioneered by Sergeant Enigma. What I'm playing with is the MK11. Really love the fact that you can finally take the scopes off of these rifles. I like to play close quarter sniper, and I was mostly playing Vietnam in Bad Company 2. The M40 was just a beast, and you could really take people down with it quickly, but when you got up close, you really had to get your shots timed, and it was a real challenge to take guys out. So really, pushing towards more aggressive playstyle. I took the scope off. It was one of the first things I did. I was so stoked to see that you could take it off. And I find the iron sights, they're fantastic. I'm able to make some long distance shots without too much trouble. And when it comes to close quarter fights, I'm able to beast. So, I strongly encourage you guys to try out that playstyle and to remove your sights. One of the reasons why is I find it gives you so much more situational awareness, and we'll talk about that a little bit more in this commentary. But one of the things that's going to turn you into a better Battlefield player is really looking at the battlefield, knowing what's going on around you, and that's really hard to do when you're looking down a scope. So I strongly encourage you guys to try and play a couple games just iron sights and see how it goes for you. So returning to the gameplay here, you can see I've used the mobile spawn beacon to spawn right back in. There's been a lot of debate about whether this is game breaking or whether people are using it to cheat or what the deal is with these things. I'm personally a huge fan of them. Nothing sucks worse than when your whole squad gets wiped out having to hoof it all the way. And if you can get in behind enemy lines and lay down one of these babies, you should be able to go to town on them. I'm a big flanking fan, and I like to sneak around behind enemy lines and take them out from behind, because that's the easiest way to do so without getting shot. So anyway, we're pushing up in this second base, and this is one of the hardest bases I find. There's a number of choke points along here, but what I find is some of the obvious places that people should be covering, they don't. People love to camp in that hallway, and often I'll find 5 or 6 players sitting in that one little middle hallway that everybody loves to play in, and I can run right down the middle of one of the subway lines, turn around and come in at them from behind and just clear them out. So I don't manage to do this gameplay, but you can see we were able to take the B crate, and I got my sniper rifle medal, which is a nice little bonus there. 20,000 points for the medals. I didn't realize that's a huge bump, and you can get a good sense of how deadly this weapon is at close range. I took out 5 guys there, just nailing them in the head with the rifle, and it took 1 or 2 shots to put them down each one. So in a single clip, you can take down 2 or 3 guys easy. So we're on the far left flank, pushing up towards the A crate. This gives me a great opportunity to present another thing I really love about Battlefield, and that's enemies with flashlights. You guys are so easy to spot and really easy to take down. I don't understand why people are playing with them. Yes, they're mildly blinding in close situations. Yes, they're brighter than the sun, but they make you stand out on the battlefield like you would not believe. And if any players have situational awareness, they're going to spot you, and you're going down. So that happens to this guy, and there's a number of other people where I wouldn't necessarily normally have spotted them. I would have no idea they were there, but there's a big bright light shining right from their hands, and that makes you easy to take out. So I spotted that guy running down the far left flank, and he's got the right idea. He's going around us. I managed to get an eye on him. I didn't get a spot on him, so I'm not sure where he is in that tunnel, but I decided to go after him. I'm not sure why I waited quite so long, but in the end I rushed out there, and I managed to get my timing just right and gun him down. Now this third base is definitely one of the hardest, and especially when you first start out, the defenders have had a chance to get into position. sometimes they're not so aware and they like to just stick to the two major choke points. And on occasion I've been able to sneak up these stairs and get an early plant on A, and that helps the team push up even if it doesn't mean the MCOM blows. So, you know, I go for that this time. I see the guys up there, I see my teammate taken down, but for whatever reason I just figure maybe I'll get a chance to go for it, and obviously it doesn't work out. So, you know, I play a rush and gun gameplay. I really like to get in behind enemy lines and get into the MCOMs and get them armed so it helps the team push up. Anyway, I spawn in here on a huge Chatty Cathy session. There's a whole ton of people just hanging out, tossing each other ammo and, you know, doing their best to push up. But my concern is if all of our team is sitting right here, then we are so easy to flank. There's got to be enemies pushing up on those other fronts. So I decide that I'm going to leave these guys here. This area has more than enough manpower, and I'm going to go around. And this is something, you know, when I talk about situational awareness, you want to figure out where your buddies are on the battlefield and know, you know, are all our flanks being covered, if you're a defender in particular, and, you know, where the enemies are. If there's a big push like that coming up the tunnel but there's nobody else, you know, my favorite thing as a defender is to go around and come at them from behind, and that really shakes the team up when they're getting attacked from behind. So you can see this time, you know, our team was able to push up without too much trouble, and they're controlling that tunnel now. That long stretch hallway is brutal to make it down. I actually like to go around the outside for two reasons. The first is it gives you good eyes on A, and the second is people don't tend to watch that side nearly as much. So you still, you know, you definitely have to be aware of guys coming around that corner trying to take you out, because they're aware that attackers like to post up in there. It gives you, you know, a good eye on A crate. So you can see guys over on the A crate arming, and what I'm trying to do from this position is provide them cover. Crossfire is essential on a lot of these maps, and you can see, you know, as we push further up toward the B crate, SpecOps will sit on the opposite side and try and provide some crossfire, and I'll provide crossfire against the guys coming at him, trying to sneak around that corner and surprise him. And at the very least, you know, it's my duty to spot guys so that he has a chance to gun them down right as they come around the corner if I can't hit them. But usually, you know, you're able to take them out because you're shooting across the map at them, and they're not necessarily aware they should be looking for you. It's also a good safe spot to spawn, and so I got a lucky spawn here, and teammate spawns in on me and gives me the health that I desperately need. And I maybe should have pushed up here, you know, when the charge was planted, but sometimes I find running out blindly, you know, you're going to get taken out, and my instincts just said to sit back here. You know, all of my squad mates were down, and they'd pushed up, so, you know, I'm providing a spawn point for them right now, and that's a super important role to play. I'm also covering that far side to make sure that no enemies are coming around the corner to take them out. You know, when there's two grenades cooking on the far side of the wall, definitely going around the corner is not a great idea, so I didn't follow my teammate there either. And when I did make a move, I was finally taken out, but thankfully I've got a decent medic on my team, and, you know, I'm far enough back that I should be able to spawn okay and get back in the action. Or would have been if it wasn't for that damn grenade. Anyway, I spawned back in on my teammate here, and I notice, you know, most of the attackers are pushed up. And again, this is the situational awareness thing, where you know, if you can see your teammates sort of pushing up in a line along with you, then it's a good time to move up yourself and, you know, inspire them to push up. And so I decided to go for the B crate and go for the arm, and thankfully hit a little lull in the action. And once I've got the crate, you know, it's great to run out and try and take some cover on this far right side and take him out. And it's usually very hard if the attackers have pushed up, you know, in full force, for the defenders to do anything about an armed crate at this stage. And so now it's just time to clear out the defenders. And again, I get a nice little bonus kill with this character with the flashlight here. You know, you heard my opinion earlier, flashlights make you easy to see, and the last thing you want to be on a battlefield is easy to see. So I take him out once I find the right sight line here, and I'm still learning this sniper rifle and figuring out exactly where to shoot, but I'm starting to get better at figuring out if you're standing over the flashlight where your body is and where your head is. So beware, I'm gonna gun you down if I see that flashlight. So I like to go far right and see if I can sneak off and arm the B crate. Sometimes it happens, sometimes it doesn't, and drop a little mobile spawn point in here. And managed to come around the corner and catch a couple of defenders unawares, and then TyeWebb takes me out handily. You know, I try and pull the spawn back in. I wasn't sure if they were aware of the mobile spawn point or not, but you know, it's a risk you sometimes have to take. It can be worth it to be right behind them and take them out handily, but sometimes you're walking into a death trap, and it's something to figure out. You know, you have to make that call. So we're back to the start. I cut out the hoof in it from the beginning of the base, but sometimes it's nice to have a fresh start. And you know, a lot of the defenders will have been cleared. I can see, you know, there's some attackers going for the B crate, so I'm taking a few pot shots at these guys across the way, and you can see the versatility of the MK11 at long range. But here I notice all of the boarding around A crate is undisturbed, and that means there's nobody in there. And you know, as a defender, one of the first things I like to do is punch a few of those out, just to, you know, to leave the question whether it's there. So as an attacker, if there's nothing there, you go for it, man. I don't think there's any other way in other than taking those boards out. So I take them out and I head in for the crate and take the arm on it. And you can see, thankfully, I got a squad spawn, and you know, the two of us are set to defend this crate. And as a defender, you know, it's intimidating when there's only one of those boardings shot out. And you gotta try and sneak your way in, and you know, they lob a nade in, and I manage to evade it, and we take out the one guy and another, and I get taken out, but you know, ultimately we take that crate, and that's what counts. That's how you win the game. And at this stage, things are feeling pretty good. I happen to run into this guy on the stairs and take him out, and then start to wonder where he came from, and come up and see his mobile spawn point and take that out too. And that pretty much takes us to the end of the game here. You know, rushing up, trying to provide some cover, but the crate's armed, and there's nothing those defenders can really do. And this was a great game. It was super fun. You know, it's not like the defenders quit halfway through. It was definitely a challenge to push it, and we were pushed to our limits to take this in a lot of ways. It was very fun to be playing with SpecOps and Chris Reddraggons and TyeWebb. And I was amazed. I went 29 and 11 and took 2 of the MCOMs and ultimately took the ace pin, which was awesome. And yeah, I'm stoked. I hope you guys enjoyed the commentary and that you got a little more sense of how I play and the situational awareness that I bring to the battlefield. And I look forward to seeing you guys again sometime soon. And if you like the commentary, yeah, please subscribe or fave or like or whatever it is people do on these things. This is only my second one, and if you enjoyed this, check out my PTFO montage as well.